Most investors would walk away from this house because it was literally crawling with fleas. But I saw a $300,000 opportunity. Today, we're going to tour this crazy transformation and break down the exact numbers that turn a $1 million nightmare into a $1.6 million beautiful masterpiece. First thing you notice is the color of the home is way brighter and welcoming. That's because we chose a new color combo that has this very light blue-gray color and darker shade, and then a white color trim to really accentuate the architectural details. A Victorian home has a lot of intricate details that are so beautiful and very timeless. So it's very important to use the right colors to really make it pop. I find picking exterior color the most tricky on a home, especially on a historical home, because you don't want to use some colors that make it too modern, and you really want to stay true to the historical details. So here we use these colors because I was able to find color combos online that are historical. So they are true to the time period when this home was built, which was in the early 1900s. And then a trick that I found was, instead of looking for just one particular color that you want to paint the house, but you want to look for color combos. Like here, we have 4 different colors on this home, which is really difficult if you were to choose each color all by yourself because they may not match. So the yellow color on the door is my favorite because it really provides this pop of color that kind of ties it all together. The front yard was like a jungle before. I had neighbors walking up to me telling me how much they like our transformation, even though it's so simple. We just removed all the bushes and put down new mulch and new plants, but it makes the front yard look so much better and so much more inviting. And on the home itself, we replaced all the windows because they were single pane and they were so old. But on the front door, we were able to just save it because we replaced the center glass, and now it looks completely new, and it's really a good way to save some money if you have already a pretty solid front door. Welcome inside. Even though this home was built in the early 1900s, it looks so new now. In this living room, we put in a new chandelier. So this time I actually heeded my agent's advice. I usually put recessed lights everywhere, especially in the living space. But because of the age of the home and the style, we decided to just put a chandelier to kind of stay true to the architectural design. And then in this living room, it has high ceilings, which is really nice. It makes the space feel bigger. And then the focal point is the fireplace, which we painted this gray color to kind of make it a little more updated. And then other than that, we just repainted the interior and also put in new floors because the old floor was just too damaged and it was beyond salvation. But these changes really made a big difference and made this home entirely feel much more updated. So this is the first bedroom right off of the living room. We added a new ceiling light, replaced the window, and replaced the floors, but we were able to save these 5-panel doors. So these are original doors that are true to the Victorian style, and they are still in pretty good shape. And it also kind of gives people this feel that it's still true to the period. So we decided to keep them, and it saves us a few $1,000s. And the biggest change in this bedroom is actually opening up the access to the bathroom that was only accessible from the other bedroom before. So there was no door to this bathroom before. And we relocated the fixtures in here to be able to have these two doors to make this a Jack and Jill bathroom. So now we still have the same everything in here, all the fixtures, but because of the different location of these fixtures, this is way more functional, and it allowed this front bedroom to use this bathroom because there was two bathrooms in this home before, and both of them were inside a bedroom. So this front bedroom literally had no bathroom to use, and now it does. From the living room, we get to the dining room, and there are some really nice pocket doors that we were able to restore, and they just look so beautiful, and they are also quite functional because if you want to separate the living room from the dining room, then here's your separation. It did cost us a few $100s to fix these, but it was so worth it because in the previous flip, my contractor accidentally took them out and a lot of neighbors were really upset. So this time we made sure that we're doing things right. So this dining room is really a great space. My first impression of it when I visited it the first time, it was so huge. So we actually decided to carve out part of this space to add a half bath that's much needed for this home. So this is the new walls that we built in order to put in this new half bath. And this bathroom is quite big. It has a good sized vanity and a toilet, and it's so essential in this home because, as I mentioned, there were only two bathrooms in the home and both of them were inside the bedroom. So now we have bathroom access in each bedroom by creating that Jack and Jill bathroom, but still there needed a bathroom that can be shared by guests and other people inside the house. So this is the space that we were able to carve out. But what amazed me was after carving out this space, we still have a very good sized dining room. So you see how huge this space is. There's still like enough room to fit in a large round table, and we added the beautiful chandelier. It gives you this old world feel, and the bay window is just gorgeous. So I love this space. This was kind of an odd room because it had this double door here, and then it also had an entrance to go to the kitchen. So that was totally unnecessary and it ruined the flow in the kitchen. So we decided to close it off, and then we turned this into an office. It's kind of perfect because I always wanted an office with a French door that allows a lot of natural light and also looks so pretty from the outside. This second bedroom was a weird one. It had so many doors. So from the entrance that we came in from, there's the closet over here, there's the door to the bathroom, which is now a Jack and Jill bathroom, and there was another door that was on this side going to the third bedroom. It was so odd that why do you want the entrance from a bedroom to another bedroom? So we decided to close it off so we have more usable space in here, and now it's a good sized bedroom with very functional bathroom access. The kitchen was a big head scratcher because my first impression was it was so small and cramped. There was no cabinets on this side because there was a door going to the office, and then we had cabinets in this corner, and then a big stove and a fridge on this side right before the entrance to the other bedroom. So there was not much functioning countertop storage, and it really worried me. So we decided to change the layout here and have this cabinets and countertops on this side, fill it up, and then also have a big array of cabinets and the fridge on this side, which is the longer side in this kitchen, that allowed us to really increase the storage and work surface. And that, I think, is a really important thing in the kitchen, because buyers now really use the kitchen space kind of as the center of the home. And now I feel like we achieved this goal to make this a pretty spacious kitchen. And in terms of the kitchen design, we've been using this two-toned cabinets for many of my flips, and it really is well received among buyers. So the slim shaker design, and then the contrasting cabinet color and the handle color makes it unique and also stylish. So make sure you steal it on your next kitchen remodel. We really had to plan for this primary bedroom, because even though the room is of higher ceiling and it's of a good size, but the closet space and the bathroom were both super tiny, especially this primary bathroom. The old layout was the most awkward I've ever seen. There was a pedestal sink on this side, and then the toilet, and then a tiny little shower on this side, and the closet space. It was about half of this size. There was no way for us to put regular size stuff and make it functional within the existing footprint. So we had to push this wall out to borrow space from the primary bedroom to enlarge the bathroom. So now we have a really good sized shower, and even though the vanity is still small, but at least we have enough space to kind of move around. And I like the finishes that we chose, that's really bright and mostly white. So it gives people an illusion of an expansive space. I think it really helped visually. And then let's check out the closet. Because we pushed the wall out here, we were also able to make this closet bigger. So now we actually have a good sized walk-in closet, and you have a lot more storage in here compared to a standard reach-in closet, which I really like, because closet space is so important in the primary bedroom. So this is kind of the downfall of keeping the old world charm, because we have this really fancy key and lock here, but I can't figure out how to open it. So now we can't go to the backyard. We locked ourselves in. We're gonna have to go around the backyard fence to get to the backyard, but yeah, we definitely have to get this changed. Imagine I came out from this door that we had trouble opening, but this is the porch area. It was enclosed before with the laundry on that side, and we decided to open it up because the construction was so poorly done and it was just unsightly and unsafe. And then we relocated laundry to this closet, so it's still in a covered space, so pretty convenient. And we also put in this new deck that's really pretty. I love this natural wood color, and it also gives you this so expansive view of the backyard. When I first bought the home, the backyard didn't look like this at all. It had a deck, another deck that was not this one, but kind of in the middle of the space, that really blocked the flow, and it was quite awkward, and it was full of junk. So we decided to take it out, and we also took out a fence that was between here and the garage. So now the backyard feels like twice as big, and it's also a lot more usable because you have this entire deck for entertaining, and you also have a lot of grass, even though it's covered by leaves, unfortunately. But it's just a very family-friendly space now, and I love the huge tree here that provides shades, and also it just adds dimension to the space. we dive in on the numbers, here's how I found the deal. I've been working with this agent for a long time, and he called me one day telling me that he has a house that really needs to be sold off market because it's flea infested. It was tenant occupied, and the home just was in such beat up shape. And that just sounded like my jam. So I took my contractor here and we saw the house. At that time, I actually wasn't aware that this home was flea infested. So I was not prepared. I was wearing short sleeve shirt with holes in the shirt, and then I got bit by fleas like crazy. I had like stuff on my tummy, on my back, all over, and I thought I had shingles. So I went to the hospital only to have them tell me that it was actually bug bites. And we spent 2 hours in the house trying to figure out how we can make it work. And we finally decided on this plan to add a half bath in the dining room. That's why we were able to get this house for a really good price, because of how just insanely unusable it was. So I bought the house for about $1 million, and we put in about $220,000, and then we just sold the house with multiple offers, and buyers really loved all the upgrades we did and how we were able to still save the old world charm and while integrating new updated finishes. And we were able to sell the house for $1.6 million, which was a lot more than what I expected. So the overall profit really blew my mind. It was $300,000. I'm over the moon, and I'm also really, I feel so rewarded for all the hard work we put into this flip. Before I go, I just started doing Instagram Live, so to answer all your questions about house flipping. And if you're interested, make sure you give me a follow on Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this house tour, and if you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.